Well, I just delivered an excavator. What is this? 35G, like a mini excavator, but it's one of our biggest, to this farm. And I got lucky that it's such a nice drive. So basically, I'm 60 kilometers, 40 miles east of Calgary. So as you can see, like there's fields everywhere here. It's just farms and fields, and it's so beautiful, so pretty. So I just cleaned up my windshield. See, you still have that.
Continue on Alberta 21 south for 4 kilometers.
Yeah, so this is just like, it has a very ambitious name, you know, this farm, but it's just a small, what is that over there? Some animals, pigs, I don't know. But he probably does some farming, some animals, but the house is not big. But one problem I had with this delivery is that I came from the north. Like, north is to my left, right? And this driveway is super duper, you know, goes in the opposite direction. You see, like, this angle over here? I could not make it unless, even if I go to the opposite side, I would not make it. So what I did is I went forward and I waited until there was no vehicles, and I just backed. So I just backed all the way over there. You see the machine on the left there, the yellow machine. But now I decided not to go that way. So we're going, because it's more interesting to try a different route. So now I'm going south. I always forget that freaking suspension button. So now we're going south. And this is Highway 21. So Highway 21. Somebody's already getting ready for Christmas trees. Oh, there. Yeah, I think. Maybe not. Tree to tree nursery. Yeah, I see they make trees. They make trees. They grow trees.
Turn right onto Trans-Canada Highway, Alberta 1 West. Signs for Cal.
We are 10 kilometers east of Strathmore. This is Highway 1. Of course, this is way better than Country Hills. First of all, it's a divided highway. Speed limit is 110. Whereas on Country Hills, it's just a 2-lane, you know, that range road, right? It's just a 2-lane, and the speed limit is 100 kilometers an hour. And this is Wheatland County. This sign, Wheatland County. This is Strathmore, population 13,500 people. Flag over there, that's a truck stop. I think I stayed here before. Husky. So gas today here is $1.28.9 per liter. Not sure about the diesel. For some reason there's no diesel price on that big sign. And they have a restaurant here, breakfast from $12, all day breakfast. Yeah, man, how many hours I spent at places like this. But next door there's a A&W and the Subway, and of course going back there was a Walmart. So most of them, they're like super centers, right? So they have grocery departments. So that would be a much better option for somebody if you spend the night at the truck stop. Just go for a walk and buy some real food at Walmart. Or I think I saw Sobeys there, like nice grocery store. And that's it. Pretty small town. So next one is Chestermere, 29 kilometers. That's a familiar name. Check this sign on the right. Drumheller, Highway 9. That's where I worked at the solar farm for 2 months. So I took that Highway 9 twice a week, back and forth. Monday was going to work, and then Friday night I was coming back to Calgary. So the excavator was John Deere 35G. Mini machine, like I mentioned, but the biggest we have. And the guy wanted 2 buckets, one 18-inch tooth bucket, and then a clean out bucket. And the paperwork says the clean out bucket is 34 inches wide. I go there where we keep the spare buckets. I don't see anything that's 34 inches, I see one that's like 28, 29 inches. And so I go grab one of the guys, and he points me a different bucket, which I thought was like a regular smooth bucket. Turns out that's the clean out bucket. It was pretty big. And so I drove the machine to the buckets, grabbed the bucket with a tooth bucket, and the machine has a claw on top of the bucket, so I was able to use the claw to grab the second bucket, and backed onto the deck, and I pushed the spare bucket against the blade, because this machine has like a dozer blade, and I put an extra strap on it. So I had one chain in the back, 2 chains in the front, because the blade has eyes for chains, so 2 chains. So 3 chains total, and then I put 2 straps. 1 strap on the attached bucket and 1 strap on the loose bucket. And that's it, nothing moved. And And when I was delivering, there was a kid there. The guy was quite young with a small son, maybe, I don't know, 7-8 years old. So the guy was really excited to see the tow truck and see how I was lowering the bed. And he was watching me as I was driving the machine to the gate. Yeah, it's always fun to watch the reaction of children when they see a truck, even though this is not a semi-truck, but still a truck, right? And that's it. So I just passed the Chestermere. From here it's only 4 miles, 6 clicks to the bypass 201. So the road trip is over. But actually that side on Country Hills, it was much more interesting, because it was so peaceful. It's all farms. Like here it's a real kind of like lots of industrial stuff around, right? But I should have taken that Country Hills, show you guys the scenery over there. It was a bit better, but more trucks here. Even though for some reason it's not that busy for trucks. And I passed Scale. It was closed. So now heading back to base. See what else they have for me in store. So ETA is 9:30. So I'm just 30 minutes over. Like normally I get back at 9, right, from the first trip. Yeah, I gotta watch it. The speed limit here is 80 kilometers an hour for some reason, 50 miles an hour. I think there's an important intersection somewhere ahead. And we are 2.5 miles from the bypass, maybe that's why. Well, it's 10 o'clock. I'm doing my second run. I'm in a Dodge Ram 3500 with Cummins diesel. Loaded a small micro load of scaffolding, so 2 large frames 5x5, 3 10-footer decks, 1 10-footer brace. We call them yellow because they're marked yellow, because there's another one which is slightly shorter, they're called a red because they marked with red. So 2 frames, 3 decks, 1 brace and 4 casters. That's my delivery number 2, like stop number 2. But stop number 1 is an extendable ladder, and the worst ones are 40 feet long. This time I got lucky. This one is only 32 feet long, but it's much lighter than 40-foot ladder. It's those extendable ones with the rope, so you pull on the rope and you can extend the top. So basically this is for poor people who cannot afford a scissor lift. But 32, you need quite a big scissor lift. One thing I never wanted to be for some reason, I never wanted to be a fireman, when I was growing up. Don't like fire. And I think now I feel hungry for some reason. And then my stop 3 and stop 4 is a bunch of scaffolding. I'm picking up a bunch of scaffolding, 6 frames, 6 decks. So I decided I gotta take an early lunch break, need to eat something. So if I eat something now, then I'll be dropping off this light load of scaffolding. That's my second stop. And so first is the ladder. And so I think by the time I'll reach my stop 3, the food will be ingested, so I will feel less hungry and fully ready for that, physical effort. Yeah, this was a good workout. So I had 4 stops, right? 2 deliveries and 2 pickups. And of course, both pickups were scaffolding. So one was okay, because it had 7-foot decks, But 6 frames, but 7-foot deck, so all the braces are small. You know, it's pretty manageable. And actually, 7-footers, they
turn right onto Livingston Hill Northeast.
they fit inside the bed. Okay, which way are we going? This way. So 7-footers fit inside the bed because the bed is 8 feet long. It's a huge truck. I'm talking about the pickup truck. But when you deal with 10-foot decks, you have to load them on at an angle on top top of the tailgate. But imagine, I already have 4 7-foot decks, right? And so I had to rearrange them because my second pickup, no wait, sorry, wrong turn. My second pickup was 6 10-footed decks, 6 5x5 frames, and 2 3x5 frames. And so when you have so many frames, you know what happens is that they considerably reduce the floor space. Wait a second, why am I going this way? Didn't I just come from there? I wasn't in Livingston View. I think. Maybe not. Yeah, it's all brand new area. We are basically...
Turn left onto First Street Northeast.
It's the edge of the city. Let me show you a quick glimpse. So this is the road, right? And here it's all open field. See? It's gonna be new community, another new community here, but for now it's all open field. See? We have a dozer, a rock truck. There was 2 humongous excavators back then, where I came from, and so this whole area, you see, it's already fields over there, like somebody still has a farm. But I guess they lucked out. These guys wanted their land, and so now they're probably somewhere in Florida smoking hashish. And the problem with these pickups in new areas is that quite often the streets are narrow, and construction guys, you know, there's construction going on, right? And so construction guys, like, you know, framers, carpenters, electricians, whatever, they park their vehicles on both sides, and quite often you cannot park anywhere. Well, you can park, but you know, not close. Like this time, I had to carry all the decks and frames, probably maybe like 7 meters, 20 feet, to my truck. And there was a pickup truck parked behind me. And the guy comes out, gets behind the wheel, and he opens the door, looks at me, and he says, "I gotta go." I look at the distance between his front wheel and my truck, where actually I had a 10-foot deck sitting there. I use it as a ramp, right, so that I don't have to step up, but instead I would walk on this, you know, 10-foot long ramp, which makes things so much easier. And I said, hey, there's plenty of space. There was probably like a meter, you know, like 3 feet, 3.5 feet. But he could not see from his side. I said, hey, there's lots of space. So the guy said, okay. And he moved out. And but
take a slight right turn to merge onto Highway 201 East.
I was almost done with all my scaffolding, so I didn't bother moving the truck closer. So I just finished. Oh, and sometimes what they do, they forget to dismantle scaffolding. So now everything was dismantled except one section. So the 2 frames, 2 decks, and 1 brace were still assembled. You know, like frames are vertical, there's a brace holding them, and then there's 2 decks on the top. but I dealt with this before.
Use the right lane to take a slight right turn to merge
Now
onto
it's
Highway 201 East.
it's pretty easy for me to take them apart, especially when it's just, well, if it's more than one,
Take a slight
let's
right
say,
turn.
you know, kind of like 2 levels up, I'm not gonna do it. You know, I would have called dispatch and said, hey, we have 2 sections on top of each other, so I'm not gonna bother, you know, it's too difficult for one person. But one section is basically 5 feet tall, because the frames are 5 by 5, so no biggie. So I took it apart. So my truck is lined up with frames like a Christmas tree, heading back to base. I was here earlier today at the Gold Gym. I don't know if you can see, like very far in the distance there's a blue machine. That's our scissor lift. And I was here before because that's over there, that's the see those poles and the lights, that's the landing path of airplanes. But last time I was here they were further down, because there's like, I forgot, 3 or 4 runways. But I noticed today when I was unloading the scissor lift, I noticed that the planes were really close, you know, closer this way. And this is the end of the day, so I finished at 4:15 today. Did one, my last one was in a Freightliner. I did one delivery somewhere in Northeast, but then one pickup in downtown, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you know. It was a bit crazy. In the back alley, there's like traffic, crazy traffic near 17th Avenue. Super busy. And then the next pickup was northwest of Crowchild, you know, 1A, on the other side of 201. And then I loaded 2 machines. So I had 2 machines to take back, and jumped on 201, unloaded, and I'm working tomorrow. And so I brought all my stuff today with me. I wanted to go to the gym, but I feel too tired. And these guys here have been working on this, trying to widen the road over here, Country Hills Boulevard. And they ran into some serious issues with underground water. Like where that excavator is moving. Where is it? Yeah, that one over there. No, this one. You can only see the boom. And so they see now they have these pipes. And yeah, for some reason there's a lot of water here, you know, underground. I'm not sure what they're doing here. Like maybe they're building. What are they building here? I'm not sure. See, there's a scraper working over there, just by itself. All right, so we're looking for a couple more airplanes. And normally it's easy to see them because I look that way and you'll see bright lights, kind of like, you know, flying saucer going down. And well, it's hard on the camera, but when I see the lights, I'll start filming. I'll just show you a couple of planes, because yeah, today they seem to be really close. Last time they were just using that one, but this time it's right here, you know.